And of course, joining me now is the leader of EBR, School Superintendent LaMont Cole. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Of course, so you posted on social media. It's been, you guys have sent multiple things out across, the district regarding the 2026-27 school budget. Let's start with why you proposed the budget. You did a proposal of $21.8 million for employee compensation, specifically along with increasing salaries and other areas in the district. But why did you think this was the best way to go?
Well, I think we're at a very critical juncture in our school system where we have an opportunity to do some really great things. We know teachers work in our profession is not as efficient as it once. There's a teacher shortage, and we wanted to make sure we offered a compensation package that would recruit teachers back to East Baton Rouge Parish school system, and we think this is a direct route to go.
Now, what should parents and stakeholders understand about the proposal?
Well, I think the first thing is we came to the community first. We've hosted 7 community meetings with teachers, with students, with community members at various different locations, and we heard from the community about what they wanted. They wanted us to invest in safety, so there's money for that. We wanted to invest in literacy. There's money for that. We invested in our early foundational literacy centers, pre-K to second grade, early childhood, and they wanted us to invest in our people. People don't follow buildings, they follow people, and you have the right people on the bus moving in the right directions, the family will come and we'll have a winning experience in our school system. So that's what they can expect, a winning experience based on what happens after the budget is approved, hopefully.
Right. So teachers' starting salaries would increase from $50,000 to $56,000. Now, how competitive does that put EBR schools when it comes to other districts?
It'll make us the second highest paid district in the region behind Iberville. And then it would make us 6th on the list in the state in terms of being able to compensate our teachers in a way that values them, that shows them we care, shows them that we're trying to make the right type of investments to ensure that we have the right people in the classroom. So we feel like this is going to make us really, really competitive in this region. And we know that there are a lot of good people in this region who are doing great things in the classroom, and we want them all to work in EBR schools.
Now, some critics have questioned the spending levels. How do you respond to that?
Well, I simply say, if we are going to be competitive, if we're going to ensure the right people are doing the right things for our students, we have to move at a very fast pace. We have to be aggressive in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. We have to put students first and then think about how do we support our students with the right people. We cannot do that if we lag behind in our compensation packages. We've heard that consistently from our teachers internally as well as externally when we recruit and we say, hey, this is where we start, and they say they can go over to another district, a neighboring district, or a charter school and make more money. We have to think about how do we invest in people. And again, once we make the right type of investments in people, we know that families will follow and people will come back to our school system.
Now, you have emphasized that no new taxes are being requested. So how is the district planning to fund this investment?
Well, this budget is in alignment with my realignment plan. So we've cut costs, closed schools, looked at our efficiency, managed the dollars, managed the number of students that are coming into our school system. We have a little bit more money this year, and we recognize that we have a sustainability plan over the next 4 years that will take us through 2028 when our propositions are renewed. We know that sales tax dollars are up. We know that the economy in the Baton Rouge area is booming, and we recognize that with a booming economy, it increases our sales tax, so our expenditures are going to be less than our revenue. So we're really excited about the opportunity we have to do this.
Now, you plan to dedicate about $18.8 million to workforce development and career readiness. Talk about that coming off of the economic growth that we're seeing here.
Again, from the community, we recognize that the majority of the workforce in the city of Baton Rouge is going to come from the EBR school system. And what we have heard from the business community is they want us to invest in giving those students more opportunities to have workforce ready experiences, and then make sure we bring in folks from the community, from the business community, who can provide instruction for our students at our schools where we offer career and readiness opportunities. And then in addition to that, we want to ensure that as many students as possible can graduate from high school with a diploma as well as an associate's degree. So we have a very strong relationship with our universities and junior college here in the city. And so we're excited about that opportunity and to provide internships for our students in many of the businesses around Baton Rouge.
Now, this is one of the largest districts in the state. Second largest to be exact, nearly 40,000 students, 74 schools. Let's talk about the schools. You mentioned some facilities and improvements. Anything you can share in regarding that?
Sure. We have a tax plan where we are building new schools. We're going to put a real state-of-the-art East Sports Complex at the old Broadmoor Middle. We have a school in the south that is going to be starting construction in the fall. We have a school in the park in the southeastern part of our parish that's going to be starting construction in the fall. Broadmoor High is going to get some renovation and developments. And then we have our $40 million bond where we're improving the high school experience across all of our high schools. That work started in the spring internally with some of our auditoriums and audiovisual equipment working in some of our media classes. And then in the fall, you're going to see that extend to football fields, gymnasiums, and locker rooms. So a lot of good things are happening. A lot of investment is going to take place in terms of our facilities, but more importantly, in terms of our people.
Really quickly before we wrap, can you talk about what's happening today? There's a hearing for the committee, so you guys will discuss that and vote, and then next week you guys will take it to the board.
So 4:30, there's going to be a public hearing where I'm going to brief the board on the budget in full detail. 5 o'clock, we have our committee of the whole, where this will be the first agenda item. The board will get to ask questions, the community can ask questions, and then the board will determine whether or not they want to send it to the board for a vote, or if we need more discussion and we talk about it as an individual item next week. So really exciting time for me, and I think it's even more exciting for our school system. But what's really important, this is the capital city. We're the public school system of the capital city, and we want to make sure we're doing the right things to invest in our people.
Absolutely. LaMont Cole, Superintendent at EBR Schools, thank you so much for joining me this morning. And of course, parents, staff, if you have questions, today is the day to ask them this evening at the hearing. Thank you for joining us for Louisiana First News. Stay right there. More news, weather, and traffic coming up after the break.